really cool.
Yes, I am really cool.
Yeah.
My mom told me.
Yeah. We should get some certificates, and then we'll just,
Certify them.
whatever, and then we can sell them for a lot. Are we recording right now?
Oh, hey! Welcome. Episode 19 of Everything is Late. Not just a few. Everything is late. And
We're
nobody
like the Sklar
dies.
brothers there. Did you hear that? That's great, man.
Nobody dies, including Greg.
Yeah, barely.
Yeah, you didn't. It didn't seem like you were going to make it through the last couple of days.
Oh my God, man. So we got the shipment, the entire diamond shipment,
Right.
15 minutes before it was supposed to be on the shelf.
Wow. So, but you had Lunar, right?
I did have the lunar
Okay,
stuff, but it
okay.
wasn't like a big lunar week, so there
Right,
wasn't
it
much
wasn't.
to sell.
Yeah, there's not a lot.
Thankfully, I never thought I'd say this, but thankfully I'm ordering other stuff from Lunar. So I did have a couple of things, to put up there, like the Vault and the Scout
The
stuff,
Scout stuff.
And so, at least it looked like we were a retail store for like 10 minutes. Oh my God, yeah. And so I spent the first 15 minutes of the day before anybody got here. I was taking everything out, stacking it on these tables right here.
Right.
And as soon as I saw, okay, there's 2 covers of that, and I know there were 12 copies each. Okay, run out, fill the holds, put them over there. Beck came in, had them hurry and bag and board, one title at a time, throw up on the shelf, and then had another customer here, a friend of mine, Brian, who really helped a lot. Oh, man. And he probably bagged and boarded, 60 or 70 books, which doesn't seem like a lot. But when you don't have anything to go on the shelf, that's a lot. That's a lot, man. So, they both helped. And we actually, I do not know how we did this, man. We knocked this thing out. We had everything checked off, holds filled, everything up on that shelf by 1:30.
That's impressive.
3 hours it took to get through the shipment.
Well, but the plus of that is now you can do it in 3 hours.
Yeah, I never want to do that again. Oh, I know I can do it in 3 hours. I know. But, thankfully it wasn't the biggest shipment in the world, but it was still big enough that I was just like, oh my God, come on.
Right.
And I went home and I drank 3 apple pie moonshines and sorted through my comics and watched Better Call Saul. And then I ate some popcorn, and then I ate some nachos, and then I laid down, and then I woke up. Then I came back. That is literally how last night went.
Well, I
Oh,
saw you
God,
made a
man.
post yesterday. I didn't look at it, but I was imagining that was the books are finally here. Mm-hmm. Something to that extent.
Yeah, I made that post about 1:30 and it said, okay, and everything's up. Everything is ready to go. Come in and give me your money, please. Bill, I can please pay for the next one.
This time it was a UPS issue.
I don't
Something
even know,
wrong with the
man.
truck or whatever.
Okay, so they said it was a UPS issue. There's a problem with UPS. They didn't have their, there was a truck that had brake problems that was carrying stuff from back east over to here. But then I looked at the shipping dates from Diamond. Some of them were shipped on the 6th. Some of them were shipped on the 7th. I don't think they finished, and I think they took a day off for a holiday. And then got in, didn't have everything done, and said, UPS's fault. I think that's what happened, because there's 2 different shipping dates on there,
Right.
and they all showed up at the
And
same
they all
time.
came in at the same time.
So that tells me they left some stuff out there, and we're like, okay, well, we made up these labels. Let's make the rest of them out tomorrow and just tell everybody there's a trucking problem. Because, I'll buy that. Everybody will buy that right now.
Right.
You know what I mean? They're like, oh no, well, then put it on a train. Oh, I'm sorry, they're going on strike. Oh, well, put it on a truck. Well, I'm sorry, they're on strike. Oh, well, send it UPS. Oh, well, I'm sorry, they don't have enough people. Well, send it through the mail. Oh, I'm sorry, they don't have anybody working there right now. You know what I mean? It's like, you buy anything right now.
Right. Yeah.
So I feel like they blamed it on that. I don't know. It just seems weird that there's 2 different ship dates. But
That is a lot.
yeah, I don't know. Whatever. There's nothing I can do about it. So who cares whose fault it was? And it happened.
Like
I
that
got
was,
them up on the shelf, and we're done.
and when I found out that shipment wasn't going to be here, because you said it wasn't going to be here, I was like, man, I got clients coming in from Idaho today. I got clients coming up from Tooele today, and there was another guy coming from Ogden. I'm like, I'll just have them all come, and so I got stuff done at the house. But that was the first Wednesday that I haven't been here in 3 or 4 years.
That's a long time.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Long time.
Actually, I think the last Wednesday that I missed was no, because I think I missed when I had COVID. I think that week.
God, I hope you did.
I didn't, and now you know.
Now I know what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was it was really weird, and it was super weird, and I had a whole bunch of people, coming over, and I don't know, what did I do? I screwed up when I
But I mean, it wasn't a very big week for any publisher.
it wasn't huge, but I mean there were enough that it was, Hi, Doug. I mean, it was. We have to say hello to at least one Doug every week.
Yeah.
Yes,
It's the
you're our
Doug-
chosen Doug today, Doug.
That's the Doug quota
The Doug quota. Yeah, so we can't have more than 2 Matts in the store either
at the same time,
at the same time. Yeah.
or continuously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was funny. I was joking about that. 'Cause we had all these customers named Matt coming in to get their hold like 2 weeks ago, and like one left, and as soon as he left, Matt Crane came in and was like, "All right, well, you guys are keeping up my Matt quota."
I did. I got over to see his operation too. So
Oh yeah.
yeah, so he's got like his law office with his partner and everything, and I went
Oh,
walking.
you can call him boyfriend. Oh, law partner.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
law.
No, sorry.
So I knew that he had rented out an adjacent space for his comic book operation.
You might want to cut that out. What I just said.
So I walked in and I looked at the space, and there was a stack of long boxes here. And there's some long boxes over there, and whatever. I'm like, it's a pretty nice setup for your comic book deal. And he's like, and he comes walking in. He's like, so this is the law office. Let's take you over here. And yeah, he's got so much stuff. And he handed me a short box full of Conan the Barbarian. He's like, go through it all, pull out what you need for your collection, and let me have the rest of them back. So, and
Matt's a good guy.
He's a great guy.
Really nice guy. I like him
really
a lot.
saved me. Everybody in that group. I think Utah Comic Crew, we just have a really great bunch of guys. Everybody gets along. Everybody's willing to help.
Yeah, it kind of seems that way. That's
Yeah.
it. Yeah, it's a nice thing. It's good.
And it's really great when you look in terms of, like, we got Jace, who, when he first got into it, he would not be in the comic book scene now if he had been continuing down the path he was on. 'Cause he got hooked up with a not so great shop, not in Salt Lake, but a not so great shop that we were just discussing.
Yeah.
That's under new ownership, but and we were able. He called you, and then that brought him in here, and he hung around. We were able to kind of point him in the right direction.
Yeah. No, I mean, it sounds weird, but we're like his little comic mentors.
Yeah.
It's like don't do that. Get this one. Yeah. What's the difference between a 9.6 and a 9.8? 0.2. Other than that, absolutely
Right.
nothing. Yeah, I don't know, but everything's so just insane right now,
Yeah.
and I'm tangent crazy right now. I'll talk about something. I'll be like, because I'm still a little mushy from yesterday. So, anyway, vote for us for Best of Utah. I don't know.
Best of Utah.
I think
Black Cat Comics.
I think that's probably going to be. I think like this week is their last
Yeah, I
hurrah
think
with
so.
the voting. So, Beck, have you voted for us yet? Yep. Okay.
I've actually voted with 2 different accounts.
No, you can't say that. You can't say that when we're recording.
All right, that was Beck and Beck's brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's from Canada. His name is Lebec.
He's from Canada, much like my ex-girlfriend.
Yeah. She goes to a different school in Canada. You wouldn't know her. She's so hot. She's in a TV show, but you wouldn't know her. It doesn't matter. Don't worry about it. Yes, of course we did. Twice, actually, in a week.
So I have not picked up my books yet. Mm-hmm. Oh, I was going to hold up. That's what's holding up our stand here, are my books for the week. So I haven't had a chance to read anything.
Your pick of the week is going to be Star Trek Lower Decks. Don't even
is.
pretend it's not.
Lower Decks is so funny. Like, it's the way that they've done this show. It's like about not even the B crew. It's like the night crew, the overnight crew for the starship, and it's all just jokes and humor and a lot of
I keep calling it
truck stuff.
I keep calling it Star Trek Upper Deckers on accident, and Upper Decks, and people are like, you gotta remember what that means. I'm like, oh God, no, that's not what it's called.
Books making some moves. Because I mean, it's based on the cartoon, the TV show, and there's a whole slew of first appearances in it. There's like 12 first appearances in it.
Well, and cartoon books never do well. I think I've got like 2 copies left
of Lower Decks.
I'm almost out of them.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah.
But I thought I'd bring a couple different things because CGC has been on the forefront of a lot of people's minds, and people are thinking about alternatives and whatnot. So I got 2 things, and I picked these up, and if you look back through old episodes from like a year ago, you'll see me do product reviews on these. But this is Comic Skin. This is a resealable slab.
That's cool.
You can slab it yourself, and it is really a cool product. And he did the research. This one's really dirty. But like these tabs come off, and then it opens up, and you can.
Oh, that's nice.
Change the book inside. You can make I made my own kind of header for it.
That's cool.
But they are, at the time, CGC wasn't even doing UV protected cases, and this is UV and IR protective.
Oh wow!
So cool. It breathes. It allows the book to breathe. They're not sealed inside that plastic bladder, so they get proper humidity and airflow and all that good stuff. So this is what I would rather do this than just about anything else. And these are the slabs that EGS uses when he grades books.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because he'll just take this, and then over the 3 sides that are open, he'll put a tamper-proof holographic, sticker. So those are really cool, and I really like that product if you like the slab look. Because to me, I've always said I could bring a book in here and show it to you. I trust your grading more than I trust whoever 3 people they have running at CGC.
I think they've got 1, maybe 2 people now.
I don't know what's going on.
And I'm on 10 months now waiting for stuff, and it doesn't even show up on there anymore because they only put 8 months in there. And I'm like, well, why would you do that?
I don't know if I've seen you since I got my Golden Age stuff back. My Golden Age stuff finally came back. It's been there for a year and a half.
Yes, you have. You told me you had a few birthday presents.
I sent 5 books in. Mm-hmm. I got 5 books back. 2 of them were the Golden Age. 2 of the Golden Age books I sent in, but the other 3 were Silver Age Marvel. Like, I have no idea where they came from. I called them up, and they're like, "Yeah, just keep them." Because they don't know what to do with them if they got sent back. They don't know who they belong to. And they're not going to make the effort, I guess.
I could swear they had some kind of a computer program that maybe kept track of things.
Maybe. Yeah. So, yeah, what a mess.
That's unbelievable, man.
Yeah. And then,
that's insane.
I'm actually doing a video before and after because I had a a customer of mine send 50 books in, and then they split the order in half, 25 and 25, and they're all modern store variants, so nice heavy cardstock variants. And the 25 on one order, he got 2 9.6s, everything else was a 9.8.
Mm-hmm.
The other order of 25, every single book, every one of them got a 9.0. Yeah. So
Odds are if you send 25 books in, their odds are very much against you getting the same grade on every single one of them. That's impossible.
Yeah. So what we've done is I've taken some of them. I've taken 15 of those 9.0s,
Uh-huh.
and I've cracked the cases. I've pressed 13 of them, and then left 2 of them the same. I didn't press them or anything.
Uh-huh.
And we're sending those off to CGC to get regraded. Well, he sent 3 more in with a different order. He broke them out of the case himself and sent them into CGC. Those 3 that came back 9.0 that he resubmitted, he got grades back on them yesterday, and all 3 of them are 9.8s. And they haven't been pressed. So I guess it's all over the place.
Yeah.
Just
Nerve.
insane.
Bye, Doug. You have to say goodbye to one Doug every week.
So yeah, crazy stuff. But yeah, so Comic Skins,
Oh, man.
and you can get Comic Skins, of course, at ScottComicSkin.com. He's got a limited supply because of supply issues, but these things run about $13 to $15 a piece, something
Well,
like that.
yeah, that's nice.
So that's not bad at all.
No, not at all.
And then the book inside, that's Harold's Journey. It's done by a local comic artist. This is my own exclusive. And if you can see, where is it? Oh, yeah. So you got the trader up here and a little black cat on his shoulder. Very cool stuff. Aw, isn't that sweet?
Who'd have bought a little? Here
So
we
that
are.
one's cool. And then I also did a product review of these, and these are infrared. This, of course, Howard the Duck, issue 13.
That is the first appearance of Aerosmith
Yes. Yeah.
in a Kiss comic.
First appearance of Aerosmith. John Paul Jones specifically. Yeah.
That was, yeah. It's when they were Alice Cooper's backup band.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember that very well.
Yeah. My own. I think this is the only copy I have of this book too.
It's a pretty cool book.
It is a super cool book. It's actually the second appearance of Kiss.
Yeah, 12 was the first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a cameo.
No. Isn't this like their origin in Marvel,
Yeah.
though? Yeah.
Yeah. But I really dig these cases. This is a Gator Guard case. Again, it's UV protective. But it's what's really cool about it is I think they display real nice, but there's no label. I like not having the label.
Yeah.
And then these little screws, they sell different color screws, so you can color code
Nice.
and match them.
So you could do like blue screws on the top and the red ones on the bottom for that
Yeah.
one or something. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a neat idea.
Yeah, and that's Gator Guard. They're out of Louisiana, I think. But
Louisiana.
They go
Oh,
down- down about Louisiana.
Nola, baby. I told you, man. I'm just a mess today.
Yeah.
Oh, good lord. Hi.
But this was what? That was a couple years before the Blood in Ink Kiss book, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, this was right before, maybe a year or two before the Super Special. Yeah, you know, it was funny, man. I was, Super Special was 78, right?
I think
This
so.
was 77.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Man, because I was, that's fresh in my mind because I was watching a documentary on Kiss in 1978 and how, like, exceedingly strange that year was for that band. You know, they were like, okay, well, we're going to do solo albums. We're going to put them all out at the same time, and then we're going to do this, and then they're all going to look the same. And and do you know why they did? I think it was like why they did the different colors for them. on the solo albums.
Huh.
So they had done that on a merchandising. I think there were pins of each of the
Okay.
characters, each of the band members. I mean, there are characters, but they did these pins and they color coded them and like, okay, red is like Demon, okay, and then purple for Paul Stanley's because it's sexy and rah rah rah, and green for Peter Criss because he's a kitty. I don't know. I can't remember why the green was, but that, you know what I mean. And they did all that
Right.
stuff to match with that, and then when they did the solo albums, because initially they were just going to backlight it with like a yellowish whatever backlight, and that's all it was going to be. And they were like, no, man, we got to do different colors on here to make it look cooler. So they took those colors from the previous merchandising thing and just popped them on the solo albums.
Huh. Well, I know that because my brother was really big into Kiss, and he had those solo albums. Like, they were...
Yeah. Oh, my God. Anyway, so your pick of the week is nothing.
So I didn't have a pick of the week. So what I did instead, I'm just going to show off my first 3 comic books I ever got.
Okay.
I actually got these. I don't know if I've ever told you the story, but I actually got these when I was 7 years old. There was a mom and pop little grocery store in Karain, Utah, where my grandmother lived. And she took me down to the store to buy me an ice cream or candy or whatever. Probably just to get me to shut the hell up.
Yeah.
And
As we do.
I was going to say, you've done that with him before, right? Yeah, okay. All right.
so they had a spinner rack with those 3-packs, the polybag 3-pack.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And it's like 3 great stories for $1.
Yeah.
And these were the books from that, and it was Marvel Tales issue 122, and these things are so beat up. There was actually a time where I couldn't. I was getting rid of all my books, and my dad actually had stashed all these away for me so I wouldn't lose them.
Oh, that's great.
Because he wanted to make sure that I kept them. So these and some others, so Marvel Tales 122, Spider-Man versus the Scorpion. So that's a reprint of ASM. Had to have been a pretty early ASM.
Yeah. It's got to be
Probably pre-50, I'm sure.
No, that's a 20 or 25 center, I think. Feel it's like maybe 140s or so.
Okay. So there were the 2 Marvel Tales, and then there was this one, 142, which
Great.
is Spider-Man versus Doctor Doom. This is the first meeting of Spider-Man and Doctor Doom.
Now that's an old one.
That's a
You
pretty
can
old
tell
one.
that's an old one because that looks like Ditko.
I think it is. What does it say?
Yeah, that's got to be Ditko. I mean, look at that weird face he has going on. Yeah, that's a Ditko. I feel like that one's like a Gil Kane one.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
But they got chunks missing out of the cover, and
That's the beauty of having
just
it.
all beat up. I think this one's loose in the bottom corner. So
No, we all get like that with age.
yeah, I actually have the original poly bag for these two. I actually
serious?
brought that, but it's on its own bag and board at the
Oh,
house.
that's cool. Man.
But these have been hanging up in my grandkids' playroom. So I got these 2, and it was a 3-pack. So this is the 3rd book. And somehow, when I moved back to Utah 5 or 6 years ago, I opened up the box because then when I was in Illinois, I didn't really do much with my books. And actually, I remember loading them into the U-Haul to bring them back to Utah. And the wife was like, why are you doing that? You never read them. You're never going to do anything with those comic books ever again. Why are you bringing those back to Utah with us? I'm like, well, these are mine, so I'm taking them. And I'm glad I did. But so these 2.
Is that how it went?
Kind
Pretty
of.
close.
We had a U-Haul to carry all of our stuff, and his comic books took up half the U-Haul.
It did not. It was 3 long boxes.
Half the U-Haul
It was
for
3
our
long
whole
boxes.
house.
Because these people here know how much room 3 long boxes take. It was 3 long boxes.
Yeah.
So,
See in our basement? I'm just saying.
okay, I got a few more than 3 long boxes at this point.
Anyhow, so
They-
sorry, I messed that up. Sorry.
So these two were actually in the long boxes. And it's, side note, I don't have any long boxes anymore. That's a young man's game. I will never buy another long box again for the
gotta
rest
use
of my
long
life.
boxes. I've got to, man.
I cannot.
Otherwise, I'd be taking home a short box every other week.
Everything short box. I can't be lifting all those. But so I found this one, and that is the 3rd book from
That's nice.
from that pack. And I found that one about a week after we got here. I was like, I'm gonna pop in, see Dave, and I went up to Volts back when Dave owned it, of course, and I was thumbing through and stuff, and I found that, and I'm like, that's my book. That's the one I need. So, because I found it here in Utah, I'm convinced that that's the original from my 3-pack. So it reunited all 3 of them.
It is.
And I think that's, I mean,
It is.
it's obviously the very same one.
We gotta let him think this. It is the same one.
We often
Yeah.
let him have those delusions.
Oh, sweet. Aw.
I don't read a lot of Spider-Man anymore, though, which is really interesting. Actually, I don't read any Spider-Man anymore.
Huh. I gotta catch up on the new series. And still that's part of what I'm doing. Is I'll sit there and watch, like I said, I'll sit there and watch Better Call Saul and have a drink or two and sort stuff out, man. Put everything in order, put it over here and then put it over there, man. Then take them downstairs and put them there and then put them away and then blah, blah, blah. I'm still looking for one missing Spider-Man issue. I know I've got like 30 copies here and I could just take it home and read it. And quit being stupid about it, but I'm not going to do that because I'm like,
Because you got to have it at the house somewhere.
yeah, I know it's there. Like I know for sure it's there. Man, but I gotta find it. Can't read it till I find it. No, jeez. So yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. And then as soon as I do that, then I'll be able to finish off that Spider-Man run. Problem is, they had so many one-shots and miniseries and giant size this and blah 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 with that, that I need to find not just Amazing Spider-Man, but I got to find 10 other books that go with it. And I'm like, oh my god, enough, please. So yeah, then I'll get on the new ones. But I still enjoyed that last run for the majority of it. There were some definite misses. There's some bad drop the balls, but most of them are really good.
Yeah, I just can't get into any of it. Spider-Man, I tried that new Wolverine series. I tried Thor because you're hearing so many great things about, Donny Cates and what he's doing.
Like what the stuff that he's doing right now, which is like making things 2, 3, 4 months late.
or retconning Aunt May's dog from the cartoon. That's the new symbiote master. Like, it's crazy.
I don't know what's wrong with him. But no, Thor 26 came out like 2 months ago. 2 or 3 months ago. And the next one comes out in, I think, November. You can't do that, man. You can't keep readers doing that.
He's not working indies right now either.
No.
Like
Because he's not doing crossover right now.
Right.
And he's not doing that. And he's pretty much just like, what is he doing? Is it just Thor? He's not doing Venom anymore,
Hulk, right?
Oh yeah, Thor and Hulk. Yeah, and that is exceedingly late.
Right.
I mean, and I feel so bad for Ryan, and because he was on with Nick Spencer with Spider-Man,
right?
And then Nick Spencer's just like, oh, I need to do 37 issues a month. Nobody can draw, a weekly Spider-Man book. Nobody can, and that's what it became. So after that, he's like, oh my god, I can't do this. Then his new book was Hulk. And I'm like, oh god, this is great, man. I can't wait to see him draw the Hulk. And his art's so cool in it. Now that doesn't come out. so he's ready to draw the friggin' things, but there's no
Right.
script, you know. And it's like, oh my god, just
And I don't get it because compared to the two, I mean, I don't draw, so I'm just guessing, but like I can knock out a 24-page script in an evening. There's nothing to writing a script.
I mean, if you need to, yeah, man. You know, and I don't know what's going on with that guy, man. I've heard rumors,
yeah.
but I'm not going to go into that. I'll go into it as soon as this is done.
Somebody ran off with his wife, wrapped her in acetate and took off.
Yes. Do you know when that
It
happened?
happens.
Do you know when that happened? April. Sorry. Sorry. It's a terrible joke. I'm so sorry, man. Oh, boy. Okay. Anyway.
I don't know. Maybe if our comic creators got back to creating books instead of trying to be rock stars, we could get something going.
That'd be neat, huh?
Yeah.
Huh. Huh.
It's you know, it's funny
It's
because
just
Rob,
it's back to the 90s.
Rob Liefeld was, speaking of the 90s, 90s drama, Rob Liefeld was, there was a big to-do on Twitter with him a few weeks back where he was talking about the work ethic of this generation of comic book creators. And you say whatever you want about Liefeld and his art, like him or hate him, he delivered. Like every time, you can count on him to deliver.
Yeah.
All those guys, all of them, McFarlane and
I mean, well,
Jim Lee.
They used to. I mean, you know, and Liefeld will still deliver it. You know, I mean, he'll still deliver. But, you know, and Jim Lee, he can't put anything out. When they did that Europa, the Batman Europa, he did like one issue. You know, that was supposed to be
and they
Jim
replaced
Lee
him.
on Batman, and they replaced him. And, you know, McFarlane doesn't need to.
right.
You know, he can co-write Spawn or whatever he's doing, you know, be the architect of the Spawn universe. Okay, great, good for him, man. You know, he does a cover every now and again, you know. Yeah, cool. You know, he doesn't need to.
But that's probably why
But-
he's got his thumb so like right on top of everything Spawn. Like he says, you do this, and this is how you're going to do it.
Yeah. I think there's been 2 weeks since they started this, or there hasn't been a Spawn book, and it got bumped a week. But, you know, and every other week there is a Spawn book. Yeah, you got those 4 books, and that's it, man. And they're going to come out. And, you know, good for him with that. Yeah, good for him with that.
I mean, I think that, and then it's illustrated by the fact that, so you look at DC's creators are on time for the most part. I don't see many delays going on over there. And they've got people like Tinian that's like, he's got his hand in everything.
Yeah,
He's
well,
at
they're not on
DC,
time.
And he's
And their Black Label stuff is a mess.
Black Label is a mess.
It is a horrible mess, man. You know, that stuff is Wonder Woman hysteria. Is that Historia?
Historia.
You know, Wonder Woman Historia 3 was supposed to have been out months ago. All the stuff that's going on right now, that's been going on for the last couple months, is after Historia 3. But you don't know how they got there, because that book hasn't come out.
Right.
You know, Swamp Thing, Green Hell. What?
Oh, yeah.
Issue
that
1 a
was
year ago?
A mess.
No, done. Batman, One Dark Knight. How long does it take to do 3 issues? Come on, man. You know, took them, 6 months to get that done? 5, you know, whatever it is. I mean, it's 6, 7 months, however long it was.
It's funny you say that because I remember last week I was talking about Dear Detective and how cool it was that it came out this long after the movie. It was probably meant to release with the movie
Probably was.
because that would make more sense.
Yeah. I mean, you know, and this, they are doing some weird stuff, man. You know, and Harley Quinn for, I don't know why, for like 6 weeks came out every week.
Oh, Harley Quinn?
Yeah, every single week, man.
Yeah, because I was just thinking Harleen. Like, we
Oh, that
waited
took forever.
for that
Yeah.
one. They had the trade paperback done. I bought the trade paperback before the last issue was out.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. They put the trade out before.
and it was a good book.
It was
a
really
great
good,
book.
actually. And the Aquaman one they're doing now, that's late.
Yeah, it just seems to me like the more seasoned talent at DC is delivering, whereas a lot of the Marvel stuff kind of floundering.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with any of it anymore. I don't know. I just don't know anymore. I still love this stuff, but boy, it's getting frustrating. And I gotta tell you, going back to everything's late, and with the lateness of this week, I don't think it's going to get any better.
Well, it won't if we allow them to do it,
Yeah.
right? If we allow them to put out, their books on their schedule, and we're still going to buy every single one of them, then that's what they're going to do.
Yeah, and if they don't have to hurry and they're going to make the same money, who cares?
Yeah. I mean, we'll see with the shakeups at DC. I mean, if they move forward with outsourcing those books to somebody, then
I would just like to see that hurry up and happen, so we don't have to do this anymore, man. I would love, and I'd love for him to do that, and then get DC back with Diamond.
that would be ideal.
That needs to happen.
Or figure out some type of national distribution or ship direct really doesn't make a lot of sense. That's not going to help anything.
No.
They'll just screw that up.
Yeah. And I obviously, I don't like Diamond. They're a monster, but, at least they have things in place.
I mean, sell them to Costco. So your local comic shop can go into Costco and buy what they need.
Yeah, there you go. Or
I mean,
Walmart or something.
It's very unfortunate that they no longer have that magazine distribution like they did back in the 80s.
Yeah.
Because that was ideal.
Yeah. And I remember going in there and you'd buy those big long packs.
Yeah.
Like Superman, Death of Superman, whatever. Not Death of Superman, Return of Superman, and you buy all that stuff in there. I mean, that's how I read those.
Yeah.
I didn't really care about Superman, but, I'm like, oh, okay, well, I'm in Costco, I may as well grab this, see what's going on.
Yeah.
So, a lot of that stuff happened then, yeah, but it was, I don't know, I feel like we really need to get back to, one distributor, or at least giving us a choice with that. And not because I feel bad for Diamond, not because Diamond does a great job, but because it's so difficult on us to do so many different things every week, and if we forget one FOC, we're screwed.
Yeah.
Or they double ship them.
Well, and you're
happened.
really at their mercy because,
Oh, you are.
they a couple weeks ago, they lost your order. You had to reorder, and then both orders came in, and they wouldn't let you return it. You had to pay for everything. And then if you don't get a hot flip it now book in that order, you're eating a bunch of books.
Oh, yeah. I want to say hundreds of thousands of dollars
Yeah.
just falling right out of my pocket. And that's why with the returnability, you can only for some reason it only uploads one picture. Because you have to take pictures of your stripped covers.
Right.
And I've got literally 3 boxes back there of stuff to return on the 1st. And I'm gonna strip those covers, man. And I'm gonna have to do a photo collage. You know what I mean? Put 4 different photos because I can't get all that stuff in one picture. But I have to do photo collage. Put them in there, send them the one photo, and a lot of that stuff they double shipped, they're gonna be eating because those are returnable.
Wow.
So I hope they like it.
Well, maybe
They got me. Now I'm gonna get them.
Maybe it'll teach them a lesson. We can always hope.
Yeah, I don't think it will. But anyway, I would, I would just like a uniform way to do everything. It doesn't make any sense at all, and that they would make it so different than what's been established for decades. Everything's totally different.
Yeah.
And it doesn't make sense to do that one because that's got to hurt their bottom line eventually. And because some people are just going to be like, well, I'm just not going to screw with this. Here, I'll get 10 of those and who cares?
Yeah.
And I've had people come in and say, oh, yeah, you know, my shop ordered 5 copies of this because they're sick of dealing with it. That they don't have them, so I need to get a copy from you.
Well, and in order to make your business work, that's a model that you may have to go to because you can't be stuck with a bunch of stuff that's not going to sell.
Yeah.
And not knowing if it's going to come in. So, you know that you're going to sell 10 copies. So if you order 8, you're really safe.
Mm-hmm.
So there's 2 collectors that aren't getting that book this week.
Yeah. Yeah. But
All right.
if you order,
So because everything came in pretty much later, you didn't get a chance to read anything?
I did.
You did?
I read about half of this.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. This is going to be no surprise to anyone, but mine is King Diamond, Abigail. It is illustrated by Damian Worm, which I'm sure is his real name, and written by Dan Waters, who's done Homesick Pilots and all kinds of really cool stuff.
I like Homesick Pilots.
Yeah, and so this is basically, there was a conceptual album in the 80s that King Diamond put out called Abigail. It had, told a story of this, this character, and, this is when he started kind of messing around with concept albums. And this was really a great album. It's a really cool album. But they have taken that concept of the album and the story from the album and made a graphic novel out of it.
Nice.
And Z2, it came out through Z2. They seem to be really, they had a bunch of different stuff when they first came out, but something happened and it seemed like, I think it's Josh, the guy that runs it. And it seems like he just all of a sudden one day went, we're doing music. Our friend Dave Chisholm did the Charlie Parker book. He's done some stuff through them, like music stuff, jazz music. They're doing a Joan Jett book and a Blondie book. All kinds of really cool stuff. I think they did the Anthrax book as well. So, they're doing some really, really neat stuff. But it's weird how they've just switched focus completely. But it's also kind of neat. And it's pretty much just graphic novels. They don't really do issues anymore. So, But, yeah, it's really, really cool, though. Like I said, I'm about halfway through it. It is a pretty good read, but, look at those colors, man. I'm like, that's so cool.
Oh, that's nice.
That's really pretty. It definitely gives, a kind of gothic horror feel to it, which is what King Diamond Merciful Fate is.
Yeah.
But it's got, 1987. It's really neat. It's really, really cool. So I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I always go back to
That's cool.
artwork that kind of conjures up the old Hammer horror films. Like, I'm stuck on that stuff at the moment.
Yeah, it's really cool stuff. So, I would say this belongs there.
Very cool.
It's always been gothic horror, like metal, I guess, what they do.
Yeah.
Even that album, Melissa, the skull that he has, that he sings with, the skull's name, Melissa. Like, going all the way back to that, he still performs with it and sings to it and all this cool stuff. It's so cool, man. If you've never seen him in concert, that is such a cool concert. That's another one, man, where the stage and the performance and everything just rivals.
I kind of dig the concept, going to a concept concert.
Oh, yeah. And
Like,
he's got like a full castle, basically, as his
Jimmy
backdrop.
Buffett's not my thing.
No.
All right.
Was that what are we doing sound effects for this?
I don't know. She kind of sounded like she wanted to go see Jimmy Buffett when she found out he was coming in town. That's just not my thing.
No, if you want like a cheap,
Yeah.
if you want a cheap buffet, there's like a Chinese place on State Street.
Yeah, no. I'd
Is it
rather
buffet
go
or
see-
buffet? Anyway, doesn't matter.
I'd rather go see Fleetwood Mac.
Okay.
Yeah, there's 2 of them left, right?
Maybe.
Yeah.
There's only one. I
It
can go
depends on the tour. Depends on the day.
That's true. The White Witch.
out. I mean, she's not gonna live forever, right?
Well, you don't know that.
I guess it is possible.
It is possible. Look at
For
Ozzy.
her,
Get
I
some of
mean,
that swamp mud.
It was such a great season.
It really was.
Oh my god, that was awesome. Man. I loved it.
All right, cool.
All right.
So good stuff. And make sure you tune in on Wednesdays. There's like this arrow right on my face. I just realized it was
Oh.
my mouse.
You got a mouse on your face. You do. Oh, sorry.
What's that?
It's not really there.
Whoa. What is that? It's not there, is it? I hope this doesn't show up on this when
There's
we
like-
broadcast it.
It could if there's a white square right here. Too.
Oh, this is so cool.
It's trying to find our faces. That's
We start
Alright.
talking about the White Witch and see what happens.
I know. There's a white square. That's crazy. Yeah.
all right. So next Wednesday, we should be business as usual. Hopefully.
Should.
So we'll be back here live Wednesday afternoon, morning, depending on where.
Don't poke the orb.
Ring the bell.
That's like Phantasm again. But anyway, depending on where you are, we'll be coming to you live from Black Hat Comics.
Yeah,
We're
I
going to
can do
run
that,
down
man.
the wall, show you all the new books that are going to be out.
Yeah.
And tune in every Monday for this show. Everything's late. Nobody dies. We film this every week. And if you want to be part of the conversation, put a question down in the comments below. And you got Greg here.
Square.
Great resource. 20 plus years in the comic industry as a retailer.
Ugh.
I got all your pressing and cleaning, that kind of stuff covered. So if you have any questions, leave comments below. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Share it. All that good stuff. And ring the bell.
The square bell. Rawr. God, I sure hope this shows up because otherwise it's just going to look really weird.
Ring the bell and be notified when new stuff drops. All right, we'll see you later, traders.